Hey everybody, it's Jared with Big Mill Motorsports here. I want to start by giving a shout out to the VMS Motorsports guys. I bought some parts from Jim in the off season, and he sent me down this shirt, so I appreciate it. Thanks, Jim. I've been buying stuff from Jim for quite a while here, and he's a great guy to work with. So check out VMS Motorsports for all your parts needs. So coming into Saturday's race, I was super excited. We were getting a makeup heat race, a makeup feature, and then a regular heat race, regular feature night. So it was going to be double heat races, double features, a lot of track time. I've always learned that when I've had more track time, more practice time at a track, I've always done better. So I really thought this was an opportunity for me to excel. We were the second class on the track of the day. They had a modifieds run a quick hot lap session, and then we went right out for our makeup heat race. I ended up starting third out of four. There were supposed to be a couple more guys, but they didn't make it for the makeup race. And the car felt great. The track was tacky, muddy. I mean, I got mud all over the front of my car. In fact, my camera view, I'm sure most of you guys have seen, had a big mud clob like right on the camera lens, of course. But I ran about half the race right behind the first and second cars, trying to find a spot where I could get by. Once I did, I got second place, got first place, and then started to pull away before I won the heat race. So I was extremely excited about that. My first heat race win on dirt. Really confident with how the car was feeling, with how the track was feeling. The confidence with the heat race finish there, as well as the fact that that heat race finish meant that I was starting the feature third, so it would be my best feature start position, and I was stoked going into the feature race. They only had a 20 lap feature ran with the modifieds before we were right back on track for that makeup feature race. So I was thinking the track wasn't going to be too far different than what it was before. And so I was like, man, I thought I was gonna do fantastic in that feature race. Track was a little bit different. It was a lot dustier than it was in the heat race, and that threw me off a little bit. Last couple times it's been a little bit dusty, and it's made it harder to see, and it made my ability to judge where other cars were and maybe where the track limits are from time to time a little bit harder. So the first couple laps I didn't do so well. Dropped to third. The guy behind me in fifth place was challenging me. Got side by side with me for a little while. I finally got past, or got my groove figured out and got into my solid fourth place position. Then coming off of turn two, I was hammer down. I was going for it, and I don't know if it was the dust or a little bit, but I misjudged where the edge of the track was, and I ended up dropping my right rear off the edge of the track. Now at Brush Creek, and I'm sure you've seen with the videos, the back stretch is banked just a little bit there, and then there's no wall. The track just kind of drops off. So I dropped my right rear off there. Managed to not wipe it out right at that point. Bring the car back on track, and I don't know if it was overconfidence bringing it back on track, or if it was the car kind of unloading differently when I came back on track, and I put it into a lazy spin. Spun around when I was 90 degrees with the track. I hit one of the guys that I was racing with earlier, kind of T-boned him. He was luckily able to make it past without hopefully any damage. And then I just stopped 180 degrees, so I was facing all the cars coming at me. And like I said, it was dusty. The first car flew right by me, kind of barely missed me. And the next car just didn't have time, couldn't see me. He ended up hit me in the left front, and his car kind of turned into my car from that. So his left front hit my left front, and then his car careened into my left side, predominantly impacting at the driver's side door and right behind the driver's side door. So it's frustrating for me considering it was all my fault. Overdriving, I don't know what it is. I tend to do that when I have a really fast car or I'm doing really good. I tend to get too confident and push beyond my limits. That's probably why I haven't won any races yet, right? So, but it was frustrating. I'm happy that the other guy, Rob, was able to walk away. For me, it was a fairly, I mean, it was a hard hit, but it didn't jar me. I was pretty much stopped when he hit me. But for him, he rolled twice after that. Luckily, he was able to walk away and wasn't injured, but just frustrated by that. So the car sustained a decent amount of damage. The left front was ripped off. The driver's side door was ripped off, and that whole part of the body on the left rear was ripped off, and then the rear end housing was bent, and it appears that I broke the long axle, and then both my wheels are bent, and there was a little bit of chassis damage. One of the bars got slammed into, but it doesn't locate any of the suspension mounting points, so I don't think it'll be too big of a deal. I'm just gonna use the old sledgehammer and put it back into place a little bit and go from there. But I tell you, man, it always frustrates me. Literally, my first thoughts were, "Screw it. I'm horrible. I'm not going to race anymore. I'm going to park the car. I'm going to sell it. Not even going to fix it. I'm going to get rid of it and get into something that I can do better in." I don't know. I go through phases like that. I just get frustrated. I'm obviously not a fantastic driver. I've been running for 8 years. I probably ran 160 races. Had a couple of chances at really winning a race, but never won anything. At least not without other drivers getting DQ'd. So I'm not, I know I'm not a good driver, but it's just frustrating to not be good enough to really kind of compete way up there, and then to make stupid mistakes like this and cost yourself a lot of money and effort and time and all that. So either way, I'm not selling the car. That was my first thoughts. I am going to get it repaired. I have already ordered all the parts, or I already had the parts here, so I'm going to get it fixed up. We do not have a race this upcoming weekend. It's an off weekend for us, and my wife and I are going to be going out of town anyway. So I have a week and a half now to get the car repaired, and that really shouldn't be too much of a problem for me. Like I said, it's mostly replacing parts and then adjusting the setup to try to get back to where I was before. So we'll see. I should be able to get back. I think our next race is August 19th. I plan on having the car back and being able to race for there. Most of the suspension, you probably can't see a whole lot right there. Lower control arm on the front, shock, upper control arm, tie rod, all the aluminum rods. The front didn't really get that much of an impact. It was more like it snapped it, so I didn't do any chassis damage to the front. Then you can see here with the driver's side door ripped off, the back panel ripped off, rear end housing is bent pretty bad. It broke the long axle, and it broke most of the aluminum rods in the back, or at least bent them. So I got 2 shocks, housing, axle, 2 wheels, left front, pretty much whole suspension there. The left front spindle block or spindle base broke. Yeah, so replace all those parts. I'm going to try to piecemeal the body back together as much as possible. It's like a 10-year-old body, so it's been pieced together so many damn times. It's not even funny. In fact, I took off well, some of the parts that broke off. I kept the fiberglass, and I swear some of it's almost 1/4 of an inch thick, which is hilarious. It's just frustrating. That body, it was a horrible body, but it lasted me this long. So we'll get all that fixed and hopefully get back out at the racetrack unless something comes up that we didn't foresee in terms of the repairs. But I should be back out there for the August 19th race. So after that, we've got essentially a month and a half with no races. There were some scheduling conflicts, I guess, with the dirt schedule, and it ended up with this this period of time where after August 19th, our next race really isn't until September 30th at Florence Speedway, which, by the way, I'm super excited about. While I was in the off season, I was trying to figure out, what I wanted to do, and running dirt, or, I was looking at maybe buying a mini sprint, looking at buying a roadster, looking at doing something road course racing wise. I don't know. I need change, and I needed to kind of figure out what to do in order to keep me excited with racing. So I ended up with the Legends dirt, obviously. It was the easiest thing since I already had a Legends car, and there's a good series local to here. So I was also looking at either renting a roadster for a couple of races this year. In fact, I know just this past weekend they ran the roadsters at Winchester Speedway, which is a half-mile, 3/4-mile bank track. Looks super fun. Looked like they had a decent number of cars. Looks exciting. They have another race coming up at Winchester over Labor Day weekend. Unfortunately, that's my wife's birthday, so not sure that I'm going to be able to do that. But I was looking to try to rent a roadster. I was also looking at maybe in October. I see that there's a couple of road course races and Legends road course races coming up. So I was looking at buying some road course gears and getting a chance to maybe either race over at Dominion in Virginia or down at Atlanta. I was seriously considering maybe running the winter heat road course races down in Charlotte. All of those are about the same distance from me at 7 hours, and that's as close as any road courses are to me. At least that run Legends as a class. Mid-Ohio is literally an hour and a half from here, but they don't really run Legends as an exclusive class, and I'm not sure, after looking at SEC in the off season, that I really want to get into that just to try it out. A lot of that, they're the way they're set up, it's you can't just go out and try it. You have to go through their whole HPDE system and things like that. So we'll see. I did see that there's a race scheduled at Tyler County Speedway for our dirt series. It's a non-points race, which is about 4 hours away, I think, in Virginia. But again, that's over Labor Day weekend, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to be busy with my wife's birthday. If for some reason that she leaves me off the hook, or lets me off the hook, or wants to travel with me to do something, there's a chance that I might hit one of those two races, maybe talk to one of the roadster guys, see if I can rent a roadster for the Winchester races, or maybe drive out to Virginia for the Hillbilly race. The other time in between there, we won't be racing until September 30th. I was looking at doing some more asphalt races around here locally. Anderson's running a lot of races, and Anderson's probably my most favorite asphalt track that still exists. I liked Columbus, it was fast, but Anderson you can run 2 wide, and it feels super fast. It is fast, but it feels super fast there with the high banking. I see that Indianapolis Speedrome is under new management, which I have raced at Indianapolis Speedrome probably a lot of, I don't know, since the first year that I raced, and it has sucked every single time. Predominantly ownership issues. The way they did lineups is horrible and confusing. It didn't make sense. My wife hated the bathrooms there because there was always you know, vomit and crap literally all over the bathrooms that never got cleaned up. The track itself was horrible. You know, all kinds of potholes and crap in the track. And I had swore to never race Speedrome again after the last time I went there and we got screwed over by the owner, never got payouts. But I see they're under new ownership now. It appears that they've really done a lot of work to try to make over that track and to kind of change the image that it's had with the racers. So there's a couple races at Anderson and maybe a race at Speedrome that I'm going to be looking at doing. Might see if I can try to get some of the dirt guys to go out and race some asphalt with me. Maybe come over to my world a little bit so I can beat them up for once, right? So we'll see. Either way, we're planning on racing at Brush Creek on August 19th. After that, we'll see maybe if my wife will let me, maybe some roadster stuff. If not, probably end up planning at least one Anderson race, maybe at the Indianapolis Speedrome also. And then I am looking later this year to run some road course races. So never ran road course, but I'm super excited about that. Either way, as you can see, I got a lot of work to do. I can get started now that even though I don't have any of my parts with me, or any of my parts have come in yet. But man, I'll tell you, like, I'm kind of depressed about this. So I haven't even started doing anything yet, and hopefully I will in a couple of days. So I'm looking at maybe this Thursday and Friday spending more time taking the body off, getting the rear housing out. And then, you know, I've got a rear housing already here that I can put in its place, and then start putting things back together. But either way, I'm just kind of depressed about it. But we got to get back on that horse. I think my wife even told me that. She's like, dude, you just got to get back up on the horse, which I will. So, or on the horses. I don't know. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. I do have a race day video of the race day when I wrecked my car. I'm going to probably publish that out if you guys want it. I'm not sure what you guys thought of my last one. I got some positive comments to it. Some people probably didn't know what to expect. And there wasn't a whole lot of technical in there, but a lot of the times where we're running it with dirt, we don't make a ton of changes. So I don't know. So let me know if you want me to post out my follow along video of the race day when I wrecked my car. I'm going to try maybe to do some videos of repairing it. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. It'll depend on when I get my parts and how much time I have. Doing the videos while I'm trying to do some work pretty much doubles or triples the amount of time that it takes. And if it comes down to the wire and I need to get the work done, I'm sorry, the video is going to have to suffer. I might at least do some time lapse. That's usually pretty easy to do, but we'll see. Either way, let me know what you think in the comments, and I will talk to you guys later. All right, thank you.